Last one from me, a little bit of a weird one. Did Donald Trump ask you to make a migrant fighting league?
It's a joke, yeah.
He said it wasn't his, he said he didn't think it was his worst idea ever, but you weren't into it.
No, it was a joke. It was a joke. I saw everybody going crazy online. But yeah, he did say it.
Hey, Dana here. Obviously, you had two big losses, Khamzat and Connor. What hit you the most? What was the hardest situation for you?
Well, we've lost a lot. I mean, it's more than just those guys. We've had a lot of fights fall. I mean, one of the fights fell apart like, Shara. I think there were 3 different opponents for him. Hill fell off. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's funny because we'll go on these spurts where you get no injuries, and then you get these injury bugs, man, and it just keeps rolling. What was your question? Sucks. Yeah.
No,
it sucks. It's not fun, but it's part of the business and something we got to deal with.
So you mentioned Shara today. Were you impressed with his performance tonight? Because the first time when he fought, you said you don't know how he's from Dagestan but has no wrestling. How did you like his performance tonight?
Yeah, no, he looked good tonight. Can't take it away from the fact that Tricoli came in here and took this fight on short notice. Kid's an absolute stud. He wasn't on the bonus list, but let me tell you what, we're going to take very good care of him too, for stepping up and doing what he did and having the heart. He took some big shots, unbelievable leg kicks, and he fought like an absolute savage tonight. So we appreciate it and we respect him very much. And Shara looked great. I mean, when you got a guy that comes in on short notice, tall, rangy, dangerous on the ground, he fought the fight he needed to fight. Kicked his legs all night, stuck with his game plan, picked him apart with punches, and then when he saw he was in trouble, he went in for the kill. You couldn't have a better performance.
People also wondering a lot about Shara if he can compete in the United States.
Can he?
Yes.
Probably not. We'll keep him out here.
I wanted to ask you about Volkov. After this victory, is he in a title position, possibly fighting Espinal?
Well, obviously tonight was a good night for him. He put himself in a really good position. Looked good doing it. Another one that came in with a great game plan, implemented it, picked him apart, and won the fight. And yeah, I mean, I don't talk about title fights tonight. The fight just got over, but he definitely put himself in a great position.
And the last one from me. Obviously, McGregor has a fight with Chandler, but Islam and his team talking a little bit about him possibly fighting Connor. Have you ever thought about this fight?
I'm not thinking about Connor fighting anybody right now. Yeah.
Dana?
Yep.
What's next for Ikram, and was the risk he took worth it?
What's next for Ikram?
Ikram?
Yeah, listen, he stepped up and took a big fight against one of the absolute best in the world, one of the best in that division of all time. I say it all the time that this is a business of opportunities. He took the opportunity, came in tonight, and came up short. The other thing, it's not that Ikram doesn't have the talent to be in there. He's never been on the big stage like this before. This was his first time, and I'm sure he felt it. So now he's got this behind him. He's done it, and he's got to go back to the gym, work on some things, and he's got this experience under his belt now.
Was you surprised for such fast knockout?
What's the price for what?
Were you surprised about such a fast knockout?
No. Robert Whittaker's a bad dude. Robert Whittaker hurt him. He jumped on him, and, that kid, Alaskarov, came out had a full camp. He was supposed to fight in the co-main event last weekend. Nobody in the top 15 wanted to fight that kid. Nobody wanted to fight him. Whittaker took him on short notice and went in there and did what he did. He looked incredible tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dana, you mentioned about coming back to Saudi Arabia in the post show. You mentioned about coming back to Saudi Arabia in the next year. Can we expect maybe a bump up to a pay-per-view or something like that? Is that something that you talked?
Well, I don't. We have a deal right now for fight nights. So.
All right, that was a short one. And just jumping on, I know that you have no idea about Conor McGregor yet. But considering the time frame of September,
I have no time frame. I have nothing.
no, I just wanted to mention that the Vegas card of September, like the Sphere, kind of, it's coincidental in time with it. Like that would be a good fit for McGregor over there. And on top,
But McGregor's not even healed yet. McGregor's hurt.
all right, and final question about that, like jumping on the Sphere question is that seems like to be one of the biggest cards ever that you guys put together, and yet I mean there's not too much information. I understand that you might be saving some stuff. Is there anything that you can let us know about this card?
It's not. You're right. It's one of the biggest sporting events of all time, not just in this sport. And we're going to be the first live transmission ever from the Sphere. And it's not that we're withholding the information from everybody. There's just a lot of moving pieces and parts to this thing. When this thing is done, my guys will be the foremost experts in the world on how to run a live event in the Sphere. It's been crazy. So Craig Borsari, my head of production, isn't even here in Saudi Arabia for our first fight here. That's how up to his eyebrows he is in the Sphere right now. So we will be announcing soon. Maybe International Fight Week next week. I'll give you guys some more information.
That would be my next question.
Yeah.
Like, when can we expect something?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hello?
Here, one.
You go first.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
This is the first time UFC is hosting an event in Saudi Arabia. Did it live up to the expectations? And when is your next come again?
Yeah, I mean, this is our first time ever in this market, and we had over 12,000 people here in the arena. And yeah, it was a great experience. Thank you.
Дана, здравствуйте. Ассаламу алейкум. Я Бахредин Джалов из Таджикистана, издание Азия Плюс. Ты ведешь?
From Tajikistan, the paper is called Asia Plus. That's where he's from. That's why he's asking questions.
Да.
Yep.
В прошлом году 4 бойца из Таджикистана подписали в UFC. Сегодня Мухаммад Наимов и Муин Гафуров выступили. Поражение Мухаммада Наима удивило ли вас? И будете ли вы в будущем подписывать бойцов из Таджикистана?
4 fighters from Tajikistan signed last year with the UFC. Today, 2 of them were fighting. 1 of them lost. Were you surprised that 1 of them lost? And will you continue to sign fighters from Tajikistan?
Of course. I mean, as long as there's talented people coming out of there, we'll always sign guys. I'm never surprised whether guys win or lose. This is the game. You win some, you lose some, and there's so many different ways to win and lose in this sport. Anything is possible. So, yes, we will continue to sign more talented people from there.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Abdurrahman from Colors of Riyadh. My question is, how did you find the experience here in the UFC in Saudi Arabia, especially, including the part with the Riyadh season?
How do you feel about your first experience here in Saudi Arabia, especially with Riyadh season being a partner?
Yeah, like I was just telling her, we sold over 12,000 seats in a new market, and everywhere I've gone, there's been people from all over the world here at this event. I ran into a lot of them at the mall today, at the restaurant last night. So it's been good. It was fun coming to this market, and I love how passionate Sheikh Turkey is about combat sports and what he's looking to do here in this part of the world. And all over the world, actually, when you think about it.
We hope we'll see you again, hopefully.
We'll be happy to see you again, hopefully.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Dana, how do you see this event contributing to the MMA scene here in Saudi? And are you already thinking of any initiatives to develop local talent here in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, I think, in this region now, you're starting to see talent come from here. And with the amount of money that's going to be poured into both sports, not just MMA, but boxing too, you're definitely going to see some talent coming from here.
And one last question. What was your most memorable part of putting this event together here in Saudi and the event itself?
My most memorable part, anytime you come into a market for the first time, it's that experience of the first time that I walked into the arena, the weigh-ins, just everything that you normally experience during fight week. When you do it in a different place, it's always exciting and fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kelvin Gastelum obviously struggled with his weight cut this week. So is he staying at middleweight or is it welterweight still?
I don't know. I'm not thrilled with Kelvin Gastelum right now. You know, this guy's missed weight like 3 times in his career. You got kids taking fights on a week notice, jumping off cards, coming over here and making weight, and Kelvin doesn't make weight. It's extremely disappointing.
And is there any update on Khamzat and when he's going to fight next? Or
No clue. You know, we'll see what happens. You know, obviously, maybe we try to move him over to Abu Dhabi and see if he can make that fight.
Okay, and just the last one. You announced that Paige Van Zandt is going to be in Power Slap. So how did that come about?
You know, I said this would happen. I said that you're going to start to see people crossing over into Power Slap, and yeah, Paige is the first that, you know, that everybody knows and has such a big following.
Hello, Dana.
Yep.
Why didn't you give Magomed Ankalaev a fight for the title? He has the longest unbeaten streak in the lightweight division in history. In the history of light heavyweight division after John Jones.
Why didn't you give Magomed Ankalaev a chance to fight for the title, as he has the longest unbeaten streak in the light heavyweight division behind only John Jones?
Yeah, he's right there. He's right there. He will fight for a title as long as he holds his standing there. Yeah.
Then once you said that your dream is to make a fight that sells 8 million pay-per-view.
Well, that's not what I said. What I said was, everybody asked me, what do you think the ceiling is on this sport? And my response to that is, now that everything is starting to stream, Lorenzo and I used to dream of a day where a fight would be on the same channel everywhere, all over the world. And what is the ceiling? 8 billion people. There's 8 billion people in the world. So who knows? Who knows what one could possibly do someday as streaming continues to get bigger and the sport continues to grow all around the world. And we come into new markets like we did here and open up other new markets throughout the years.
I'm just curious, what fight in the world, in the UFC, in boxing, between bloggers, businessmen, or even politicians could potentially make 8 million pay-per-views?
Zuckerberg versus Musk.
Dana, my question is, does it possible that next step for Ikram Aliskerov will be a rematch with Khamzat Chimaev, probably in Abu Dhabi?
Probably not.
Do you have a main event for UFC Abu Dhabi, and any chance that it will be Islam Makhachev versus Arman Sarukian?
No idea right now. That fight's in October, so we'll see.
Then, and the last one about Power Slap. You just recently signed Vasily Kamotsky, the dumpling. I think this is the person who actually got you into
100%. So when I first started seeing this stuff coming out of Russia and Poland and everywhere, Dumpling was the first guy that I started to watch, and I'm like, this is interesting. He is absolutely the guy that got me into it. So we ended up signing him, and I'm looking forward to seeing him compete.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, when you saw it first, you said, guys, I want this on Fight Pass right away, but, you know, deal didn't come around, and you made the Power Slap yourself, right?
Well, sort of, yeah. I reached out to one of the guys in Russia that was running it. I met with him in L.A., and, you know, started to have conversations, and that was really how it all began. And, yes, I was interested in Fight Pass. You know your shit, sir. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Saudi Arabia. I really appreciate you guys. Have a safe trip home.